Do you ever watch a Marvel movie and find yourself rooting for the villain? Don't worry, you're not alone. We're always told to cheer for the heroes, the ones in the bright costumes who save the day. But what if I told you that sometimes the villains are the most interesting, most complex, and dare I say it, the most relatable characters on screen? Today, we're diving deep into the Marvel Cinematic Universe to argue a controversial point. Villains are often better than heroes. Let's start with the big one, the purple guy who snapped his fingers and wiped out half of all life. Thanos. His famous line, "I am inevitable," isn't just a threat. It's a declaration of his philosophy. Think about it. Was his goal to accumulate wealth or power for himself? No. He saw a universe suffering from overpopulation, resource depletion, and inevitable self-destruction. His solution, while horrifying, was born from a twisted sense of cosmic altruism. He believed he was the only one with the will to make the hard choice, to bring balance, and allow the survivors to thrive in a universe of abundance. He wasn't motivated by greed or hatred, but by a cold, hard utilitarian logic. The heroes, on the other hand, fought to restore the status quo, a world still teetering on the brink of the very problems Thanos sought to solve. By bringing everyone back, did they just delay the inevitable collapse he foresaw? It's a chilling thought. Thanos forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about sacrifice and the greater good. Questions our heroes often don't have the time or inclination to address. He's not just a monster. He's a philosopher with a gauntlet. Now, let's just talk about a character who walked the line between hero and villain so finely that it is almost impossible to categorize him. Eric Killmonger from Black Panther. Was he a villain, or was he a revolutionary born from centuries of oppression and neglect? Killmonger's rage was not random. It was a direct result of the pain inflicted upon generations of his people. He saw Wakanda, a nation with unparalleled technology and resources, hiding in the shadows while people of African descent suffered worldwide. His goal? To use Wakanda's power to liberate oppressed people everywhere. Can you honestly say that motive is evil? His methods were brutal, yes, but they were forged in the fires of a system that had been brutal to him and his ancestors. T'Challa wanted to protect Wakanda's peace and secrecy. Killmonger wanted to shatter the world's injustices. In the end, Killmonger's challenge forced T'Challa to change. It was Killmonger's villainy that pushed Wakanda to open its borders and share its technology with the world. He lost the battle, but in a way, his ideology won the war. He was a product of the world the heroes had allowed to exist, and his anger was a mirror reflecting their inaction. Moving on, let's consider the scariest Marvel villain. Is it really the cosmic tyrant like Thanos? Or is it someone far more grounded, far more real? I'd argue it's Adrian Toomes, the Vulture from Spider-Man: Homecoming. Why? Because you understand him completely. He's not a god or a super soldier. He's a working-class guy, a small business owner who gets his livelihood destroyed by the carelessness of the powerful, specifically Tony Stark's government-backed damage control. He's left with nothing, his crew is out of work, and he has a family to feed. So, what does he do? He takes the scraps the rich and powerful left behind and builds a criminal enterprise out of it. His villainy is a direct response to a system that chewed him up and spit him out. And in that moment, can you blame him for believing it? He's a blue-collar villain, a consequence of the collateral damage caused by the hero's epic battles. He's scary because he's real. We see people like him, people squeezed by forces beyond their control, every single day. He doesn't want to rule the world. He just wants his piece of the pie that he feels was stolen from him. And what about the villains who are just misunderstood? Take Wanda Maximoff in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yes, her actions were terrifying. She hunted a child across the multiverse. But let's rewind. This is a woman who has experienced an unimaginable amount of trauma. She lost her parents, her brother, the love of her life, and then the children she magically created to cope with her grief. Her villainy wasn't driven by a desire for power, but by the desperate, all-consuming pain of a grieving mother. She was corrupted by the Darkhold, a book of immense evil, but at her core was a fundamentally human desire to be with her family. The film positions her as the monster, but she's also a victim of her own immense power and unbearable loss. It is a tragic story of what happens when the most powerful being is also the most broken. Because they often represent change, while heroes represent the preservation of the status quo. Villains are the ones who look at the world and say, "This is broken." Their solutions might be extreme, but their diagnoses are often correct. Killmonger was right about global inequality. Vulture was right about the little guy being crushed by the elite. Thanos was right about finite resources. They are the agents of chaos that force our heroes and us to confront uncomfortable truths about our world. Heroes are often reactive. They wait for a problem to appear, and then they solve it, restoring things to the way they were. But the best villains are proactive.